Hey guys, we just got back from Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. This is the anime film that released on, I believe, in July, I think in Japan, but here in the U.S., Friday, September 12th. So it's been out in theaters already, and it is breaking records, apparently. And I had to, initially I was like, oh, man, like it's been so long. So we've done some Demon Slayer reviews before on the channel. We did the Mugen Train. We did Season 1. Really enjoying the seasons, but because there's been like some years in between them, kind of fall off. It's been a while, and it's like, do I really want to go and see, a film based on this? Is this yet another in-between film? So I was kind of tepid on release, but I later found out that no, this is kind of meant to serve as the conclusion to Demon Slayer, like a quote-unquote fifth season. But unfortunately, then I was like, well, I don't know. This film is supposed to like split up into apparently 3 different movies in order to complete the whole story. So instead of getting a season 5, apparently season 5 is technically 3 films. And this is the first of a trilogy, and that will then conclude it. So I was really annoyed with that. And I kind of stayed away, initially, because it's like, I want a season. I want to be able to relax in my house and watch multiple seasons, see a nice long story. But I said, you know what? It's doing so well in theaters. I'm hearing good word of mouth for people that go. And like I said, it's the highest grossing anime film ever with $555 million globally as of September 21st. This is the highest grossing anime film ever. And it broke a record-breaking North American debut of over 70 million. I think it's now at 110. All-time number 1 in Japan. Number 1 movie selling over 22 million tickets in 52 days. And then breaking a 26-year-old record, which was the highest-grossing anime film domestically. And so it's a major success for anime. And I fucking love anime. And so it's like, all right, let me quit being curmudgeon and go out and see this thing to see if it's worth going. And guys, go right now. Go fucking right now, because the colors, the animation, the music, it is all working so well at the highest quality. Fuck yeah. I wish I went sooner. I was sleeping on Demon Slayer. I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with Demon Slayer. I don't really care. And so I was sleeping. This woke me up. This will wake you up. So if you're like me, if you love anime, if you love Demon Slayer, even if you're not a fan of anime or Demon Slayer, if you're just a fan of old school animation, 2D animation. You never see this anymore. Here in America, it's all fucking CGI, Pixar this, Pixar that, and we don't get to see the artistry of drawn. Now, obviously, these days, it's all assisted with CGI and computer techniques, but still, the Japanese really embrace, this animation. They're the only ones really doing it and still leading the industry. Go watch it in theaters while you still can. So I wanted to get the review done as soon as possible. I fucking loved it. Now, it's not without problems, okay? I'd say the biggest one is the kind of pacing that they chose for it.
It's exactly what it is. 3 films.
There you go.
Yeah.
And now, I enjoyed every piece, but it's like when you all smash it together, It does feel like I'm sitting at my house watching multiple episodes.
Yeah, I feel like you need like a little
an
intermission.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, come back. I'm like, all right, let's finish the rest of it. But
yeah,
it was still
so
enjoyable.
I fucking loved it. What did you guys think?
I agree. Go check it out. You must see this in the big screen. I love the level designs and stuff, like just the way everything moved.
The Infinity Castle is a character amongst itself.
Yeah,
that uses a lot of CGI, but I'll allow it.
Yeah, and the fighting, just you need experience in the big screen, especially with the sound. I was the same way, to be honest, because like I did watch season 1, season 2, kind of, but then I was like, I kind of stopped watching it. Then I'm catching up with Dan to Dan, And I was like, I'll come back to it. And then I never did. And then the movie came out. I was like, I'll watch it later.
I never did.
I'm glad I watched it. I was
like,
I'm glad I watched it, though. It's great stuff.
It sucks to have to wait so long. I think that's the part of it for me. If I went in, I did the research. Season 1, 2019. We started this journey in 2019. Then it was, but they're doing a good job of trying to give us morsels for fans, right? Then Mugen Train was 2020. So you only had to wait a year if you're going to go to the movies. Then season 2, 2021. Then season 3, 2023. Then season 4, at the end of 2024. So there was a 2-year wait, about 2 years if you don't count the movies, and then they tried to shorten it between 3 and 4. But I kind of felt like, was it either 3 or 4 that I felt was a little disappointing? There was a lot of spinning wheels. But let me tell you, all those wheels that were spinning during season 3 and parts of season 4, man, we are going fucking hot rod. We are going 10-second quarter-mile cars because it is if there's only 3 films, that's what. First off, I didn't expect the film to be 2.5 hours. I actually did not know how long this thing was. It was long, and I'm happy it was long after having seen it. So if they're all 2.5 hours, that's 2, 4, 6. 7, maybe 8 hours of content to conclude this thing, and that might be enough at movie quality. What do y'all think?
Yeah, it should be enough. I mean, this isn't a movie, and I think if you say that it's not a movie, you're gonna have a much better time because it's really 6 episodes smashed together.
Yeah.
Because I think that this is a horribly paced movie, but it's an awesomely paced 6 episodes because there are slower ones, and oh man, like if you were making a movie, like there's the stop and go, there's some weird shit that happens, but if you think of it like 6 episodes smashed together that you're watching in a movie theater, I think you're gonna have a great time because the combat's good. The animation is good. I mean, there's a lot of really cool backstory and stuff that we get. Yeah. I've seen season 1. I've watched Mugen Train with you guys. I saw part of 3, and then I watched a recap video to get me caught up on some of the stuff. Someone told me not to watch the last one because it was kind of boring, and so that's actually that's what the recap actually said. It's like, hey, it's not all that great.
Yeah.
But quick recap video. I wasn't lost at all on this thing. I think that even if you're just a casual anime fan, you're gonna have a really good time with this. It does suck that they're taking so long, but Netflix takes 3 years to release a Stranger Things episode.
Yeah,
and so this is beating the shit out of Netflix. Yeah. Like those Netflix kids have kids now. Like she has a child. Millie Bobby Brown has a child.
I didn't know
and
that.
So it's like
I did not know
they're
that.
taking so long to make these fucking things. Wow. And so like Demon Slayer's speeding through that, and they're getting content to people way faster. So I think they're doing a really good job.
Yeah. This is one of those examples of internationals kicking ass because I was like, what? More than $500 million? Where's it getting? It can't be America. Domestic gross is 18.9% of the total, and international's 81.1%. Yeah. So they're kicking ass. So it did over $100 million here in the U.S. Well, there's weebs all across the world then, Joe. So yeah, I'm excited, and it deserves it. So I agree with Alex. I think that you would enjoy it even if you have no idea what's going on. But let me say, you will have no idea what's going on.
There's a 15-minute view. There's the Nerdist.
You do need to do homework before you come in.
15 minutes is all
Unless
you need.
your memory is so good that you can remember every single individual character and where it last left off. I think if you do a fresh watch of the series, you will enjoy it even more, or at the very least do a little bit of a YouTube video watching, because I was lost with some of the additional characters that I had forgotten. So that would be one slight criticism. It would have been nice to get maybe a breakdown, 5, 10 minute thing.
It was already 25 fucking
It's already. I get it. But it would have been nice.
Yeah.
And then the pacing. So let me say, it is tropey in the sense that it follows this trope that I've been seeing a lot of animes do. A lot of the fighting arena ones on Netflix do this, where you're doing a fight, you're fighting this badass guy, then it immediately jumps into their backstory. So whoever you're fighting, the villain has the backstory. And it's almost always a sad backstory to kind of explain why this person's a villain, and maybe they're not such a bad person, or at least explain away the situation and how they got to where they're at. And this film does that a lot.
It's like a 45-minute stop in the movie where we go through a villain's backstory, and it's fascinating. I
Yeah,
really liked
it's
it.
great.
Yeah.
But it's like
we're not saying it's bad. We're just saying
you have to prep yourself for it because
because I was watching that one and like we're watching the backstory of the villain. I feel so bad for this guy, and we're there for like 40 minutes, and then we jump back into the battle. I'm like, oh yeah, we're fighting.
We're fighting.
I was like,
forgot
don't fight that guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, so it does suffer from that a little bit, but because they're done at such a high level, I don't care. I enjoyed it, and but those, especially one particular villain, it gets a big chunk of that backstory.
45 minutes.
Yeah. So
it's not just a back. It's like we get everything. We get like the full biography of everything that ever happened.
And so by
to
the
them.
end, it's almost like that guy is the main character rather than who you would
like,
think.
leave him alone, guys.
You go give him a hug.
Leave him alone.
I'm room for him.
Yeah, he's cooler than you anyway.
Holy shit. You'd expect Tanjiro, obviously, to have the most of it. And Nikuzo, she barely gets anything in the film. She's kind of out of the film. So if you're expecting to see some demon girl in a box action, you won't get that in this particular one. Clearly, they're building up to something with her. So she's going to be in the second one or the third one and contribute there. But they focused on a lot of the other characters, and I was like, okay, so this is going to be a bunch of boss battles essentially, and that's kind of what it is. We're going against the upper class demons. Okay, you got upper class 2, or upper 2, upper 3,
6.
6, even 4 is shown. It does nothing.
Yeah.
But shown at the end, so it's hard to keep track of them all, but I felt each one had something unique and interesting, an interesting personality, some quirks, some visual flair, on each of the characters. One of them's using fans, previous one from a previous film that we've known, the Musion film, so there's history between the characters that finally get payoff in this film. So if you're a fan of the series, you're getting the payoffs. If you don't know anything about the series, you're just seeing these fights and this sword play and these calling out your moves before they're happening, and then a cool move happening. You're getting satisfied anyway. So there's satisfaction across the board. What I'm telling you is go out and fucking see the film, because the colors and the music and the animation was worth it alone. And it just so happened to be that, there's good storytelling, there's good depth to each of the fights and explanations for things. And we'll talk in the spoilers where I think that it might be going. But I just had a great fucking time. So here's yet another voice added to the chorus a week and a half late to go out and see the film while you still can. Take your family, take your friends, take younger kids. It's for everybody, and I enjoyed it. Let's go to, unless you guys have a little bit more to say on the characters.
Not outside of spoilers for me.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and go to our final verdicts for Infinity Castle. Oh, we saw this, subtitled, "Do Not Be a Savage," and go watch it dubbed. I saw a video. I think Channing Tatum is a character.
Because I was looking at
I
the
don't
cast.
even want to look up who he is.
I was looking at the cast trying to get the character's name, but then
don't
they pulled
care.
up Channing Tatum. I was like, no, I don't.
I don't fucking care, and I don't want to know who he is. Go watch this subtitle, because you just do not
curious,
get the
though.
same. I know, right?
They're
You gonna pull a gambit?
almost always so
worse.
bad.
I'm going to say they probably do a great job, because they've done a great job
Robert
in the
Pattinson did a
past
great
with
job.
the English. But you just don't get the same level of emotion, of impact, of originality as you do with actual Japanese actors. So I would recommend, if you're only going to go once, do the subtitle. But that Joe, I'm
you curious?
slightly curious to see what it would sound like. If I saw it again, I'd go see it dubbed just to see what it is. But by the time this comes out on VOD, I'm sure they'll offer it then, and maybe that's when I'll check it out. But okay, so what would you guys give? Oh, so obviously, there's a. What would you guys give the film? Final verdict.
I'm gonna go with the 9. I really liked it. We basically just saw season 5 in its entirety.
Condensed it, I know.
Yeah, to us, like
Alex,
said,
did you break the chair? Because it leans
How
like this.
dare you?
But you're the
I think
biggest,
you could lock it.
strongest of
I
us.
don't
you
think
could
I
probably
broke
lock
it.
Oh, maybe it's
Is
a
it
lock.
a lock? Yeah, I
thing.
don't think so.
but yeah, like Alex said, just be prepared because I thought it was just gonna be a movie. Like
It is, yeah.
this is basically like all episodes, but just be prepared for that. But it was still an emotional watch. I love the backstories. I love the music, the fighting, the castle. Everything was just so like.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. So this has to be seen on the big screen.
Yeah, I was thinking 8 or 9. I think I'm gonna go with a 9. I think it's really solid. The music is so good. There's not there are slower parts, but I don't ever feel like the movie got slow. You feel its length because it's 2.5 fucking hours, and because of the weird structure. But again, if you go in this not thinking that it's a fucking movie with a movie structure where it starts and then we have all the big thing, it's like it's just 6 episodes, and you're watching 6 episodes at once. And I think if you go in there with that mindset, it's gonna be hard not to have a good time. It's tropey, and you have to forgive a lot. It's just the anime genre just loves certain things about it where you're like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, you're fucking right. But you can't have any of this. None of anime works if you think about like some of these things in certain ways. So I think you're just going to have a great time in the movie theaters if you go see this.
Yeah. What'd you give it?
9.
9. I am also at 8, 9, 10, 8, 9 territory. I think I'm going to end on, it's really in a fucking adrenaline shot into my brain, into my veins and my brains, and making me the Demon Slayer fan like I always was originally. So I'm also going to go a 9 out of 10. I hope they maintain this momentum throughout the rest of the films. Maybe in this trilogy, there's a potential of a 10. If they stick this landing, if they have this final battle, of course, against, the final guy, what's his name? Mugen. The guy, yeah. So
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, and one of the video breakdowns said Michael Jackson. But
he's
at
got
this
the
point,
fedora, curly
he's
hair.
basically in the white suit, yeah. But he's basically like a blood boil right now. He's like a big old a fucking cancerous thingamajiggy, at least in this one. So he's recharging up, right? Okay, so so let's go, and then obviously, and I think this film it is subtitled. I found the title was long as fuck. I'm calling it the movie Infinity Castle, but it also says Part 1: Akaza Returns. So that gives away that it's Akaza returning, the upper 3 that we fought before and we've seen before in the series, and he gets essentially his conclusion. And so, but we do get upper rank 2 battle. I think it was Doma. And this was amazing. I loved this story so much, and I don't want to skip over it. I want to give some credit to the sisters and their story and their backstory. It's like you got the big sister and the young sister. So the smaller sister, her older sister has died to this particular upper rank, and she just fights her fucking heart out, and you are going up against an upper rank. So this is just a display of awesome ingenuity, awesome powers, the touching story. I was feeling emotion. So not only was I feeling, all this intensity from the fights, but I also felt emotion. There were moments where I was like, yeah, I'm feeling it with pertaining to pretty much almost all the fights and stuff. So I did want to give a quick shout out to that. Let's see. Most of the other guys, there is another fight with the lightning dude. No, not spoilers yet. But I'm just kind of, I guess, we'll just talk about it in spoilers. So my rating is a 9, just because there's a lot of emotion, excellent animation, the colors, the soundtrack, the story, everything is running. This is what I wanted. After seeing the format in season 3 and 4, especially like, you know, going to this village. Everything is just, maybe it was meant to be a movie where you can have this huge budget and do what it's supposed to do. Like Dragon Ball,
the movie
recently, Super and Z and stuff, when you see that on the big screen, that clearly has more time, more effort put into it. They're not rushed to put it out every week. And some of the silliest animation things, you've seen those notorious screens, they're unhindered by all that shit. And every fucking frame is meticulously taken care of in these massive movies. But it's only $20 million. It's a $20 million budget, you know, and they gambled and they fucking won. More than $500 million. This is on its way to $600 million plus, and it's an anime. You know, that is, to me, is a huge win on a $20 million budget. Now, it's such a huge win. I don't know. It might change the industry. You might have almost all of the other animes from now on doing movies and seasons as movies. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. The community's going to have to band together and figure out, you know, how we feel about that. But right now I'm riding high. 9 out of 10. Great film. Go out and see it while it's still in theaters, because I think the impact of, you know, that sound and just a big ass screen, and then even seeing it with anime fans. So we're seeing this like late, and there's still a ton of people in the theater, a bunch of anime fans. It's always great to watch with other anime fans. There was a cutie down from Joe. I should have told Joe, go talk to her. Go talk to her.
Yeah, I don't talk to women.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No. If it was a dude over there, were you talking to the dude?
I don't talk to
Is he a cool dude?
You don't talk to nobody. It was a cool dude. All right, you don't talk to him. Okay. Well, anyways, it was a lot of fun. And to see it together as a group, you know, with other like-minded individuals, it was a lot of fun. So I recommend you do the same. You might meet new friends if you talk to them. All right, guys, let's go into the spoilers section. Hey, welcome to the spoiler section. So here's where we can talk. Okay, so younger sister, Kananao. I'm going to butcher all these, all right? And you know me. Kananao, she arrives basically too late in the previous story leading up to this film to save her sister. And she asks, who killed you? Who is the demon that did this? And she describes a guy that looks like his head is bleeding, and he has a very carefree attitude, and he's got fans.
He's very gentle, well-mannered, but don't fall for it.
Right, and he's over there feeding on women, feeding on a bunch of girls, and his whole thing is he wants to help people, but how he helps people with their fear of dying is to kill them, to just take away their fear. So now they don't have to fear dying. They're a part of him now because he eats them. And yeah, he was a cool character. He's got like rainbow eyes and just an interesting character design. And this girl fights her heart out. I was rooting for her, you know.
This is going to be one that I think if people aren't going to like one of the fights, I think this is going to be one of those ones because it's that hated trope of the bad guy that is trying, like, oh, try to kill me and not fighting back. And even though they're doing damage, it's just like, you know.
So she's poisoned her blades, and I love their swords. Like, you know, and I'm a man. I am secure in my, you know,
She's
my
the insect one.
Yeah, just the butterfly things look so fucking cool. I like their, what are they, kimonos or no? Because those are more formal, right? So basically, the outfits that they wear, they're colorful, and then their swords look so fucking cool. They're either like flower petals on each of the fucking things, and it's like, man, I want that sword. That's some cool shit. And her sister had a badass sword like hers, and then hers is like orange and green. Her sister's was a different color, but she poisons her sword. And she stabs the motherfucker in the eye before he even finishes giving his villain speech. And I like that because it's like, you kill my fucking big sister, I'm going to come after your ass. Of course, you know, we already know that the only way to kill demons is to fucking slash their head. So the demon's like, what are you, stupid? Like, you know, you can't kill me like
I've already been informed that you use poison and I can die, you know. And he's like, keep trying and do all these other things.
And
that
so
don't
the
work.
poison takes effect, and it hurts him. And then she also has this really badass thing where a unique sound in her sword. So all these little things that I just like and appreciate in this world of powers and things. Like, I want that. And she can mix poison, but she keeps poisoning him over and over, but it's not enough to take on an upper. You could do it for other demons,
Yeah,
but
it
not
becomes
for
immune to
one of
it.
these
So
guys.
it's like, well, instead of poisoning me, you should have
Come on.
chopped. Yeah, you should have chopped.
And even though she's small, and it just made me tear up, it's like, because you get these flashbacks to how all other students and her sister are just always ahead of her, and they're walking. It's just a simple visual shot, but it tells the whole fucking story. And in fact, when she makes her final attack, she's so low to the ground because she's so little. He kind of is a little surprised by not only her speed but how low she is, and it actually gets him. And if she was able to if she was a little bit higher level in fighting, she would have had him. But unfortunately, he basically embraces her, and he starts crying because he's like, "Oh, you did so well."
Yeah. She needs to just adopt shotgun style, because I mean, honestly, that's like, look, if you're tiny, shotgun style is the way to go,
Yeah.
and that's like a thing that like it shows up
Yeah.
in here. It's like, no, like her with her little cool sword that would bend immediately because there's no what.
And it's harrowing, and I'm like, no, and you see her like, well, and then she gets absorbed into his body, and another girl comes running in, and you're like, what hope is she gonna have against that? If after all of that, she killed not only the older sister, the younger sister, you've got no hope. And it just sets a good tone for the rest of the film that these are motherfuckers that are not playing around.
There are a lot of characters that that are not gonna
Make it through this battle. Upper rank 2 Doma, right? Okay, and then
brother on brother.
Zenit. How do you say the lightning guy's name? Agatsuma fights a former senior Kaigaku. God damn it, Alex! Don't just look at me like you always look. You say the fucking names.
Oh, he hasn't pulled up his phone.
No, you fucking pull it up on your goddamn phone and you say it. Anyways,
we'll call him Rengoku.
No, that's not him.
It's
Yeah,
easier.
it is.
It is. That's easier
him.
to say.
That's who he fights.
It's their last name.
It's
no, and that's not it. That's not it, Joe.
Yeah, it's Zenitsu is the first one, but he fights his brother.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is a newly acquired upper rank who decided to become a demon in his hatred for Zenitsu, who was made his co-equal. And they go into a little bit of the backstory there. And he is a newly acquired upper rank. He's rank 6. And
always hated him.
After his encounter with upper rank 1.
He hates his little brother, and so they have a real long fight where the little brother only was able to learn one move, and the older brother wasn't able to learn that basic move, but he was able to learn all of the other ones, and so they have a pretty hefty fight where the older brother is just schooling his little brother, and it goes for a long period of time. The other brother, hits him with everything, tears his skin open, like he's really destroying him, and the little brother kind of puts his head down and then turns into fucking Raiden, and all of a sudden lightning bolts start forming everywhere. He puts his head down. He's pretty much like, sorry, older brother, and then just destroys his ass.
Now, our criticism of this character, me and Joe, throughout the whole fucking series, is when we first started watching this thing,
he's annoying
as fuck.
Yeah.
That was his character trait. He's supposed to be annoying. He's supposed to be your comedic relief.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that in this motherfucker's serious. He's taking it serious because this is not a joking time. This is the final fucking battle. You're in the Infinity Castle. You're going up against the major demons to end this thing. Your master's been killed. Everybody's been killed, and it's time. And we don't have that here. We don't have this huge annoying factor. You still get a little bit of his character traits in some of the flashbacks because he should be there. He was like that.
Yeah.
And he's adorable in that way as well. But he gets his own badass scene. So that's it. In this film, kind of forgot that it wasn't just one upper rank that died. It was 2 upper ranks that died, right?
Yeah.
It was 6 and 3.
6 and 3.
Okay. And we got a fight with 2 wins.
Ongoing. Still ongoing.
Still ongoing, right?
We're doing the little girl gauntlet thing where he just keeps killing little girls and they keep showing.
Killing little girls.
Yeah,
Somebody must have show up
Right?
here. He's surprised with the speed of the previous little girl. So I kept thinking of the Zenitsu to get in there with his lightning speed and quickness. Maybe he can show up.
Look, if a little girl tells you that her favorite thing is to like poison people, maybe you don't eat that one, right? Maybe that's the one that you leave on the ground.
He's become immune to it.
Maybe it's because it shows that she's kind of being absorbed, and it's like, I don't know.
I like Giyu too. Giyu is running the whole time with Tanjiro, our main character, and this whole time Tanjiro's in awe of Giyu, who of course uses the water as well, and they Hashido and Hashira, and they fight together against Upper Rank 3. But Upper Rank 3 has this badass fighting style and secret, and I love this like, what is it? And I'm trying to figure out what it is at the same time Tanjiro is figuring out, and what does it ultimately be?
He has this thing where he can senses your killer instinct and your fighting spirit, and so he kind of, it's like spider sense. He knows where punches and strikes are coming, which is why he's so good at it. And if you watch Mugen Train, he was by far the best part. All of his stuff was killer, and that's like an hour plus of this whole thing. So if you're kind of on the fence of seeing it,
if you were disappointed by Mugen Train or something, you're gonna get what you were,
because the very end of that movie where it's like there was a train, the train is fuck off, but none of that stuff's here.
It makes me think like that film is like a 6 or 5 at this point. This is a 9.
That's what I said, and I got eviscerated on the internet.
You did.
I actually said I liked it better than even 6.
You did. Yeah. But ultimately, I agree with you, and I think you were right.
Can't criticize anime on the internet.
At least not initially. And then they come around later and like, you were right about that. When they see something that is at the level that you wanted to do.
Except for the ultimate unifying anime thing ever, Dragon Ball Evolution, we all agreed simultaneously it's the worst thing to ever happen.
Everybody collectively knew that it was bad. So eventually that leads Tanjiro to have a flashback to the time before his father died, was able to tap into this power, this transparent world, this selfless state. So how do you defeat a guy whose ability is based on your fighting spirit, and the better your fighting spirit is, the more likely you're going to lose. And Giyu is that, and he is going to lose, and they're constantly fighting in the background, and Tanjiro needs to figure this out, because I'm like, I don't want Giyu to die. And I was like, please don't let the same thing that happened to the fire guy happen to the water guy. And it was just like rooting for him the whole time. So see, the previous films and episodes tie into the stakes of this one, and he does finally figure it out. He goes into his like fucking no intent state, which doesn't really make sense, but does make sense at the same time.
He's like, Alex,
I have
go
no
fight.
intent to
Alex,
attack
you go fight. I need to go remember my story.
Yeah, so there is a long time where he's just sitting there.
No,
and he's
when you're attacking somebody without intent to attack.
Well, it kind of looks silly because he's walking forward like real.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, he's like real dumb like, and he's just like, even his buddy's like, "What are you doing?
Get him.
What are you doing?
Nope, I can't get him because then he's going to sense
why aren't you
that I'm going
sensing
to attack him.
I wanted that motherfucker to shut the fuck up, because I thought this was a great shot, by the way, when he finally figures it out, and Giru's attacking, and then he's about to die, and then he sees Tanjiro just kind of appear in the background, and then in his head he's having the monologue, he doesn't even notice him.
Ghost Slice said,
if he knows his Ghost Slice, and I'm like, yeah, but the villain's looking right at you. The villain's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're just like this.
You monologuing. I can see you looking at something.
Get him.
Do it. So he does turn around and he throws an attack, and I thought this was sweet that Tanjiro's never been able to really dodge an upper demon attack, and this time he actually was able to dodge it, and then that's leads to eventually him attacking and chopping his head off in saving Giyu. And it was cool because Giyu had previously saved Tanjiro, and then this is the culmination of Tanjiro surpassing and now saving him.
It's not over yet. There's more.
Wait,
and there's an hour more.
But wait! Yes, more.
This fight has been going on for 30 minutes, and we have an hour left of this fight because immediately
Flashback.
Well, we don't get there yet.
Hold on. The head falls off.
He grabs his own head, and he's like, "No, I'm not done fighting," and he pops it back on. I was like, "You can do that? Why doesn't everyone do that?" And then it starts to like heal up, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
It's his character trait of always getting stronger, never giving up.
Yeah.
So I allow it.
But then a sword gets thrown through his head, and his head does finally disintegrate, but he still doesn't die, and his headless corpse, which can still see and talk
a little awkward.
and
It
hear,
was.
Little puckered butthole.
and there's a
has the
butthole
neck.
at the top of it,
I
and
couldn't stop looking at it.
you never stare into the butthole, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then so it keeps fighting, but then we get the full backstory.
And
for
this is like an
40
hour of the film.
It like 45 minutes of his backstory, and it's awful. It is so terrible. His dad is so sick, and he can't afford medicine, so he tries to be a pickpocket, and he's constantly getting like arrested and tattooed and beaten, like savagely beaten. And then he keeps trying to steal to save his father, but he can't. His father hangs himself in shame.
Yeah.
It is very, very deep, dark, depressing. It's well done. When you
Yeah,
say
it
awful, you
was.
mean you just have an awful back? Because I thought
Yeah,
this
awful-
was that
no,
well
no.
executed.
Well, yeah, but then it gets worse because then he eventually goes to a different town, and this kind guy is like, hey, he sees that he's got some, fighting skill. He's like, hey, I'm opening a dojo. And
he
then,
wants to be my
You
son.
take
and
care
like,
of my sick daughter,
Yeah.
Koyuki.
and then of course they adopt him as a son. He helps this sick daughter, who eventually they fall in love, and he's going to take over the dojo. They're pledged to be married, and they're the ultimate their ultimate happiness. And he goes to his father's grave to tell his dad that I finally
getting
restarted my
married.
life. And then he gets back, and then they're fucking dead. And
poisoned.
They poisoned the well and killed everyone there, and it's just
Because
like
the rival dojo was jealous they could never defeat him on one-on-one. And this, he loses it. And I loved it.
He
went and
kills.
killed
The only two
67
people that really care about him now, he's like, they're dead. He's like, yeah,
Yeah, I believe this guy
Yeah.
will be a demon.
so
He will
bad.
turn into a demon because he is already on the verge, and then on the verge again, and then this sets him over the edge. So it gives the villain a backstory that I never needed and never knew I needed. I'm
glad we got it.
And Akaza, and it took a while to tell, and it destroyed the pacing of the film, but not the pacing of an anime episode. So
Yeah,
if you look
'cause-
at it as an anime episode, then you're just like, fuck yeah, this was one of the best anime episodes.
because I was so invested in the backstory. Then we get back to the fighting. I was like, oh shit, I forgot we were fighting.
Yeah, we're still
I was
fighting.
like, hey guys, don't
still
fight.
fighting.
Don't
Don't
fight.
fight.
Leave him
Put it
alone.
leave.
He's been through a lot.
So ultimately, that is how the fight is resolved through his past. He sees the ghosts of the good people in his life. His father, the kind dojo guy, and then eventually his to-be wife. And she says, stop fighting. Just stop it.
Because he can
and he
keep
didn't remember
regenerating
any of them, but he slowly remembers them. Eventually, just fucking cries, and I'm feeling emotion. They're feeling emotion. The theater's feeling emotion. It's great. And then he basically allows himself to die. But I skipped over the part that obviously Muzan comes and corrupts him at the moment of weakness. And one of the people that he keeps seeing is Muzan, where it's like, well, why are you said you were going to be the strongest, fight me. And so for a moment there, I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. He's going to start fighting. And his headless thing does start fighting for a little bit, and you see that. And I'm like, fuck, they're still fighting him. But eventually he does give in to the afterlife, and he gets to have essentially not a happy ending.
he goes to hell.
Somewhat, yeah, because they say, well, you can't follow me to heaven. Or was that the demon just mocking him? I think that was Muzan.
There are a lot of force ghosts in this movie, and we don't know like how accurate some of them are. Like a lot of dead fathers are talking to living sons.
I think it's bullshit. I think that was Muzan, taking a form in his head and just fucking with him. I think that maybe in the end you can be forgiven, and he can go and in the afterlife be happy
He
with you.
killed like 40 or 67 people.
That was when he was a human. As a demon, a lot more.
Forgiveness,
Yeah,
Joe.
so that's as a human.
There's forgiveness.
There are some things that are unforgivable.
67 people.
I know.
Some of those guys didn't poison the water.
I can't forgive
They were
you.
just in the dojo.
God will forgive
guys
you.
Just like, all
I
right,
ain't forgiving
I'm here
you.
for my first day of school. Dead.
Right. Hey, I didn't poison the well. In fact, I told
Well,
them
what
not
well?
to poison
Who's
the well.
dead? Bam, dead.
I know. All right, but anyways, he almost regenerated from that. So what that does is it does give us, he turns into something else for a moment, which actually shocks number 2, and plants this seed because also with Mujan, you have to not only chop his head off, but it also has to be during sunlight so that, and then I'm thinking, okay, there's 2 more films. Are we going to kill every single upper? And I don't think that every single upper will get killed because they keep dropping in here that if you kill the leader, you kill them all. It's got that. So if you kill Mujan the demon, then his uppers will probably dissipate into humans. So maybe that could be, maybe we'll have a defect. I don't know who could defect. I don't know what candidates could defect, or even if they could defect, or maybe just non-fight. Be
fucking pissed off.
Like
hey, stop being an asshole.
Oh, okay.
You're right. Stop being an asshole.
There's a constant theme of like trying to undemon people, so maybe like that's
why I'm thinking, because of that, and because they showed the human side of one of the most unforgiving demons, relentless demons, number 3, that by the time we get to the second film and third film, maybe we'll get that. Now, here's the danger. We already did the trophy thing. We're doing the backstory, the tragic backstory of each demon for each fight. Yes. It happens in, the other fighting series, which names I can't freaking remember right now. But that's the danger, that in the next 2 films is, okay, now number 2 has a tragic backstory. And number 2 actually did have a tragic backstory as well. His parents made this rainbow colored hair, rainbow eye color kid a grifting scheme, a scam where it's a new religion and it's paradise. And that also helped drive him crazy.
Yeah, all these super poor and sick people were trying to get, pray to this kid for help, and he couldn't do anything about it. And then I don't know if that justifies him eating a bunch of little kids.
Right. So are we going to see
taking the pain away?
Are we going to see upper rank 1 have that, and upper rank 4,
So we see one in the movie. Do we see any of the others? As far as like hinting toward, because I think that we got to kill 3. 3 total upper ranks in the next movie, right? Yeah. And then the final one is the big bad.
Yeah, upper rank Kokushibo, the guy with 6 eyes. Yeah. Are we going to see a tragic backstory for him? I hope not. I hope they use it. I think they use it 1 or 2 more times on one of them, but not all fucking 6.
Not all of them.
Like it'd be a lot. The main guy. Do you think they'll do it for the main demon where it's like, this is why I hate all humans?
I think they'll do a backstory, but I don't think it's going to be sympathetic.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. So I think I covered pretty much it all. And Tanjiro and Gyu pass out at this point from their victory. Exhaustion.
Like, don't die.
Yeah, the crows. I like the operation of all the demon slayers. You got people with different powers that can sense power levels, and they've got crows, and they're drawing, and everybody's doing their job. So even even the staff who don't necessarily have all the powers of fucking badassery and named attacks, they're still doing their thing, trying to map stuff out. But it's almost impossible to map out because they're like, "Wow, this castle's alive. It has to be a demon art within itself." And I think they do visually reveal that it is number 4 that is creating this, and then number 4 is able to even transfer it into almost now it's not only just a castle, now it's a city and a board cube city, and there's a race to find Mugen, who is this blood bubble, but he's also absorbing. Now, this I've completely forgot. This I don't know when this happened. There's a lady there.
At the very beginning, it was the teacher.
She's being sucked into his blood bubble.
Yeah,
I guess he was there for bait. He's told him to leave.
Yeah, and she's holding on to him, and then she's like limiting his power.
She's neutralizing because this guy's so powerful that if you're in his realm, he's gonna fuck you up. The crows wouldn't be able to fly everywhere. All this other stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And we see her kind of get sucked up,
and she's like, "Hurry!"
Yeah.
Because she can't hold it for long. I think that'll fall apart in the second film, and then all hell is broken loose, and then the third film obviously is the final confrontation. And I don't think now Tanjiro is obviously one of the main characters, if not the main character, but I think by the end it's not just going to be Tanjiro. it's got to be a fight of everybody together. It's got to be a family, you know.
Don't say it.
Friends.
Vin Diesel will show up with a car.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for by the end.
You just it's like we don't know how we beat him, and you just rum. He's like he's revving the engine.
Okay, but
Should
the
have taken away
ones
my
that,
car.
the ones that don't really get
Yeah,
a
that was
lot
disappointing.
of there's two that don't really get a lot. There's the guy with the Morning Star. I forgot what his name is, and then the guy that's following him around. You know that guy.
No, the serpent one. And
Well, the server one and the love
one.
one were running off.
They're just
Yeah. They
We
had
don't see
a
much.
little
Chicks
stuff
with
there.
she got some boobies, and then there's another one.
Mitsuri.
Yeah. So there's two more groups running around.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether they'll face their own. Maybe they face number 4, or maybe
to
they
listen to
come and
everybody.
help
Yeah.
against number 2 in the next film.
Inosuke had nothing to do, which is kind of a shame. Like you see him in a little bit of a flashback. I wish he had like more fights, but I think that's what the second movie's going to be.
What is that one?
The Boarhead.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it's like
thank you
fan
for bringing
favorite.
that up.
Like it's like
fan favorite, my favorite.
showed up
like
at the
Vegeta,
end.
basically.
Yeah, so it's like him and like the other two groups. I think that's what the second movie has to focus on because like they're running around, we get to see them, and then
And they're tired and passed out. So
Yeah,
let's pan over.
nap time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, other than that, I think everyone else kind of got a little bit of stuff to do at the very least. I mean, there's a lot of characters in this. There's a lot of stuff to.
Okay, so what I was looking up is I want to know how long I have to fucking wait. So there's no official confirmed release date for the next Demon Slayer film sequel, although rumors and fan speculation put it potentially arriving in 2027 and the third part in 2029. So they're giving it 2 years. But it's like, well, wait a minute. Well, I mean, no. We was waiting 2 years already. That's the normal cycle. If you want to do this movie release, then you guys to give me a 1 year cycle.
Well,
okay, because you're only developing 2.5 hours of super badassery instead of 8 to 10 to 12 hours of.
$600 million buys a couple more artists
Thank
to
you.
speed things up. So I think it's possible that we could probably strike while the iron's hot. You want to get this thing going a little sooner.
So I would love to see it by the end of 2026. But if we gotta wait to 2027, I'll fucking do it. All right, this film definitely reeled me back in. It's the sequel trilogy. And, who knows? By the end of it, they could do spin-offs maybe. But I prefer just be a story. I want to wrap things up. I want to have this nice thing where it's like, here's the complete story, share with, friends and family. But, yeah.
I guess in no way am I a boomer, but like the whole boomer thing I've got is I'm so tired of spin-offs and like these things where it's like, tell your own fucking story, stop stretching things out, and I don't care about
money.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's like there's so many other great stories we could be making, and let's go make those instead of like, but wait, he had a brother, and it's like he also did stuff. It's like I don't care about his brother.
Yep. So, okay, I think we pretty much covered everything. If we missed anything, we're rushing. It's late. I didn't expect the film to be this long, so just had the boys come and watch this with me. So thank you. Put it in the comments down below. There's also stuff, is she going to maybe turn back human? And that's what I think they're setting up is if you can kill the main guy as well, all the other demons will also maybe be human.
I think. I mean, if they're hinting this badly in the first one, I think that if they're testing a cure, they actually
can actually that will
That's
work.
That's how they defeat him. Is they don't kill him, they turn him.
Yeah, but it's crazy because of a lot of her powers is based on the fact that she's a demon, so she's not gonna have any powers. Is she gonna have to go through? There's no time to train her up, and give her other powers.
Shotgun power.
Maybe she has other powers that we don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, shotgun is pretty powerful. We only see him one time, but like this giant
shotgun
demon
guy. What the fuck? I don't remember. I don't remember this guy.
I had the recap. Like it was guys like, hey, this guy kind of shows up and he's constantly bringing a gun to a sword fight, and then he dives, and then this big ass demon, he's just like blam.
Who is this guy?
And I was like, that's a good move.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a real good move.
But it works one time. These are old ass shotguns that have one shot. And he's like, wait a minute.
There's 2 barrels. He has
Wait a
2 barrels. He gets 2 times.
That would be cool. Like an upper. I'd be mad though because I want the upper fights to get these badass flourishes and these long fights. You can't just Indiana Jones that shit.
One time would be acceptable.
It'd be fun.
There's like 9 hours
fun.
of fucking movie. Like we can have one big demon get his head blown off.
Yeah, maybe he dies, but then he reconstitutes in the film.
I don't want to.
All right.
Constituting demons with their.
All right, that's
What was
it, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Go out and see this while it's still in theaters. You'll thank us later. All right, guys. guys. Bye. See you on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.